Mom labeled me ungrateful after I transferred her $36,000 across 3 years. When I declared no more, she arrived yelling. What unfolded afterward became her worst nightmare. I'm 34 years old, possess a fantastic wife named Alina, and a 5-year-old son named Milo, who is my entire world. I reside in a medium-sized city and hold a stable position as a project manager at a tech firm. I am not wealthy, but I labor diligently to ensure a cozy existence for my family. Yet, this tale is not about my splendid life with Alina and Milo, but about an issue that deeply impacted me. My bond with my mother, Lorraine, and how it all transformed in just one day. Lorraine, my mother, has forever been a complicated individual. My father, a diligent and reserved man, deserted her when I was 25. I do not fault him. Lorraine was a poisonous figure who endlessly faulted, insisted, and sought to dominate all aspects. My father endured as much as possible, then one day he simply departed. He left a message indicating he could no longer bear it and disappeared. I never encountered him again, although I sometimes fret over him and ponder if he is well. When my father left, my mother was stranded alone without a job, without cash, and burdened by substantial debt. She never held consistent work. She had perpetually depended on my father, and upon his exit, she turned into a full-time complainer, sobbing over the phone, insisting the world was harsh and that all had forsaken her. At 25, just starting my career, I could not abandon her. Thus, as the dependable son I always proved to be, I decided to aid her. I started covering her expenses, such as the housing fee, power, water, and food supplies. I also gave her a regular monthly stipend to handle her private costs. I expended a considerable sum on her, but I did it because, after all, she was my mother. I believed it was the proper course. My sister Serena, conversely, never lifted a hand for her. Serena, 3 years my junior, has always been my mother's preferred child. Lorraine has pampered her like royalty since our childhood. If Serena wanted anything, she received it. If she faced issues, my mother backed her unconditionally. In comparison, I was always the disciplined one, the one required to act properly and avoid mistakes. Serena matured and, predictably, committed several bad choices. She hopped from event to event, leading an aimless existence. She wound up as a solo parent to 2 girls, Nova and Iris, each from a separate dad. I never condemned them. The kids are sweet and this isn't their doing. But Serena, instead of maturing, stayed reckless, forever seeking quick escapes. My mother, instead of setting boundaries for her, cherished her even further. Lorraine viewed Serena as an ideal sufferer of fate, while I was forever the one expected to comprehend. Even so, I kept funding my mother's costs for multiple years. Time elapsed in which I sought nothing back, not a word of thanks, no recognition, zilch. She saw it as a duty, as though I was indebted to her for raising me. And though her demeanor wounded me, I tolerated it. I anticipated that eventually she would value my contributions. I was wrong. It was Tuesday morning, a date etched in my memory forever. I had a crucial work journey and a session in another town. It was a major chance for me, a task that might lead to advancement. But events grew trickier that day. My wife Alina faced a crisis at her workplace and could not remain with Milo. Our regular childcare provider was booked, and we lacked alternatives. For the first time in ages, I thought of requesting aid from my mother. It was a minor request. I merely required her to look after Milo for 3 hours until Alina got home from work. Milo is a peaceful child, he creates no trouble. I figured that given all I had provided her, my mother would agree to assist. So I phoned her. "Hello, Mom, how are you?" I replied, striving to sound warm, even though conversing with her always tightened my stomach. "Fine, what do you need?" She queried in that sharp manner she always used with me. "Listen, I have a business outing today and Alina can't be with Milo. Would you mind keeping him for roughly 3 hours, only until she returns? It's vital." Quiet, then a mocking chuckle. "Keep your son Asher. I'm not available for childcare. I am not your servant or maid. Hire a sitter." I stood stunned. I could not fathom her words. She said this after 3 years of me funding her costs and ensuring she had shelter, meals, and lights. I tried to stay composed. "Mom, I'm not requesting servitude. It's merely 3 hours. I've aided you immensely. Can't you grant this single request?" "Don't remind me of your contributions," she snapped. "I brought you up. Have you forgotten? That's a mother's role. Don't approach me seeking assistance like I'm on your payroll." I was about to reply when something halted me. In the backdrop, I heard kids' noises, yells, and giggles. I recognized them instantly. Nova and Iris were Serena's kids. My mother was minding my sister's offspring but denied caring for my boy. My anger surged. Are those Nova and Iris, I asked, trying to steady my tone. So what if they are? She retorted boldly. Serena requested I watch them. She's a lone parent. She requires my support. And I burst out, unable to contain it. Mom, I've covered your costs for years and now I seek a 3-hour help and you refuse. But you'll mind Serena's girls. Serena is unique, she stated as if it was utterly clear. She merits my aid. She's my cherished daughter. She always has been. You're male, you can sort it yourself. I could not accept it. My mother wasn't just declining me. She was stating outright that my sister mattered more than my sacrifices. The dispute dragged on. I recalled all my support for her. She accused me of ingratitude, said she raised me and it was my duty. Milo, perched on the sofa, started gazing at me with anxious eyes. That quieted me. I ended the call before uttering regrettable words. I was furious and deeply hurt, so I grasped his hand and led him to the vehicle before departing. No sitter was free, so I had no choice. I took Milo along on the work trip. It was a planning nightmare, but I managed. Yet something within me shattered that day. The ensuing days were a whirlwind of feelings. I was furious and sorrowful. For years, I had shouldered aiding my mother, despite her disdain and her habit of favoring Serena over me. But that exchange, that blatant dismissal as she minded my sister's girls, was the breaking point. I resolved to stop funding her costs. If Serena was her preferred child, she could manage it. I avoided contact with my mother for some time. Elena offered strong backing. She had long noticed my mother's treatment of me, but never meddled as she knew it was delicate. You've exceeded what most would do, Asher, she said one evening over dinner. It's time you focus on us. On Milo, on yourself. And she was right. Month's end neared, and as typical, my mother rang. Her voice matched her usual, as if all was unchanged. Asher, you realize the month's ending. I require funds for housing, services, food, and my stipend. Transfer it today. I'm nearly depleted from last month's share. I inhaled deeply. I had awaited this. Mom, I'm ceasing to fund your costs, I stated as evenly as possible. What? She shrieked into the phone. What do you mean ceasing? I'm your mother, it's your duty. No, Mom, it's not my duty, I said. I've backed you for years, and when I sought one favor, a basic 3-hour one. You claimed you weren't my servant. Recall, you said hire a sitter. Yet you minded Serena's girls, so guess what? I'm not your vault, seek another supporter. She paused briefly before erupting. You're so theatrical, after all I've provided you. Serena is a solo parent. She requires my aid. Don't exaggerate. Exaggerating? I countered. Exaggerating is me funding you 3 years while you refuse 3 hours for my son. Mom, if Serena matters so much, have her fund your costs. Let your cherished daughter handle it. Serena lacks funds. She cried, she's a solo parent, she has duties. And I have duties too, Mom, I added irritably. I have a household, a boy, and work. I am not your cash machine, I am ceasing your funding. Full stop. I ended the call. My pulse raced, yet I sensed immense ease. For the first time in years, I had placed myself first. Elena, overhearing from the kitchen, embraced me. You chose wisely, she said. That matched my feeling. I thought that call concluded it, but I erred. Next day, fierce pounding echoed at our apartment door. Elena answered, and before words, my mother barged in, shoving her lightly. She was livid, eyes blazing. So you're quitting my funding, she bellowed, jabbing at me. Ungrateful wretch. After all I've given you, this your repayment? Elena tried soothing her, but my mother ignored. I rose and aimed for calm. Mom, I'm ending this, I said. I informed you yesterday, I'm not your vault. If you seek support, ask Serena, she's your cherished. Don't force me to discuss what you ignore, she screamed. It's not her issue. You're male, you must aid me. Then, something within me broke. All those years of degradation, being lesser and bearing her load surfaced. Know why Dad deserted you, Mom? I queried, staring into her eyes. Because you were venomous, always insisting, faulting, placing others first. And now you repeat it to me, but no longer. I am not your vault. I am not your servant. Seek another supporter as I'm finished. My mother gaped as if unable to grasp. She swung to strike me, but I dodged. Leave, I ordered, pointing to the exit. I want no sight of you again. She kept shouting, claiming selfless motherhood, my ignorance, my wickedness, but I tuned out. Elena guided her out, and she left, not without vowing regret. The weeks after my clash with my mother resembled awakening from a prolonged, exhausting slumber. For the first time in years, that persistent chest pressure vanished, that trapped emotional debt I never chose. I ceased contact with Lorraine, my mother, and though initial remorse hit like violating a holy sunly pact, it faded over time. Instead, a fresh feeling arose, command over my existence, favoring my household Alina and Milo, and newly myself. Alina noticed the change right away. One night, scrubbing plates after Milo's sleep, she eyed me with those soul-piercing gazes and said, "You're more serene, Asher." I haven't witnessed this in ages. I grinned, unsure of response. It rang true. For years, I bore an unseen load. The mandate to fund my mother, endure her barbs, accept eternal second place after Serena. But after severing the tie, I breathed freely, shoulders eased, though peace wasn't total. Halting my mother's funding drew notice. Each ring I braced for her yells, pleas, or manipulations to relent. But she didn't ring. Initially, I believe she awaited my surrender, deeming my rebellion fleeting, expecting quick return to compliant son. She misjudged. One day Serena phoned. I was at the park with Milo, viewing him chase a ball with a grin illuminating all. My phone buzzed in my pocket, seeing sister's name. I paused to answer Serena, and I never bonded closely. No foes, but her shortcut-seeking dependent lifestyle kept distance. Yet I picked up. "Asher, we must discuss," she stated vaguely, her tone weary like post-tears or quarrels for hours. "What's amiss?" I asked, knowing full well it's Mom. She faced eviction from her place. Unpaid housing now residing with me, but I can't cope. Asher, overwhelming. I have Nova and Iris scarcely affording our basics. Unsure what to do, I stayed mute. A twinge struck. Unsure if sympathy for Serena or rage at mess, but I resisted. Instead, I replied with unexpected poise. "Serena, you're her cherished daughter." I stressed each syllable. "Always were." Mom declared you and girls her focus. I funded her years, housing, meals, power, even stipend for her wants. And my return? Zero. No thanks, no gratitude, only disdain. So if Mom vital to you, fund her, not my issue. "Asher, please," she pleaded, voice cracking. "Not simple, Mom desperate, nowhere else." "Can't sustain forever." "Not my issue," I said, disconnecting before reply. My heart thumped, not fury, relief and fulfillment mix. First time I defended self, sacrifices, family. Later learned Serena ousted mother from home. Lorraine seemed unchanged. Same demanding, faulting, unsatisfiable. Despite struggles, Serena aided Mom, but chaos ensued fast. Lorraine complained endlessly. Meals inadequate, Serena's home messy, girls too loud. She demanded Serena's cash for whims as if extra available. Hard to express my reaction, not joy, not sympathy, like part hoped mother altar. That someday she'd acknowledge my deeds, finally yield. Lorraine repeatedly picked Serena despite Serena's emptiness. Belittled me, deeming efforts worthless, now facing action repercussions. Mother tried reaching again. Unknown number call answering revealed her voice, not prior commanding tone. Begging nearly shattered, "Please Asher," she uttered, "require aid." Serena evicted me, calls me load, unable to manage. Nowhere, in shelter, unfit for me, your son. Can't abandon thus. I shut eyes, deep breath, tiny urge to yield, but recalled all, years funding costs. Her scornful voice denying servitude. Minding Serena's girls, rejecting Milo aid. Her clear bias, endless barbs, constant inadequacy feelings, realized no return. I laughed, said, "There's cherished daughter. Free favors for her, see repayment." I funded years, you raged over simple request, you're alone. She sobbed, but I disconnected pre-more. Hand trembled, not grief, like that call sealed long open door. Alina, couch listening, approached, silent hug. Unneeded words, she grasped moment's weight. Occasionally park with Milo or cooking with Alina, mother crosses mind, not angrily. Distant melancholy, like recalling ancient figure. Ponder if she'll grasp lost. Not just me, Milo, Alina chance at loving family. But eyeing son giggling running. Wife ever present, no right choice, not anyone's vault, not servant, I'm Asher. Man mastering limits, self-worth, guarding true valuables. First long while, liberated. Subscribe to receive more daily stories.